Howdy YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Gunman. So I just wanted to do a little video, like a little bonus video for the week. I just finished spraying this Nissan Patrol here. Yes, I've done quite a few of these recently, so I've got a bit of experience. And one thing that, like, the main focus point of this video is I just wanted to talk about the little things. It's those little 1%ers, those little 2%ers, a 5%er here or there in your method. They stack and they make a massive difference in the end. So let's go right back to the start. When we first started doing these patrols, if you actually follow the PPG spec, like, they recommend doing a wet on wet procedure. So we were doing that, we were battling on, we really weren't that happy with the results, and they were just kind of coming out okay and like just a sellable product, right? Only just up to that bar. So after a while, it was actually me that just said, no, man, look, it's just not working. Like, there was a few things that sort of helped improve that, the finish. So you're supposed to use an etch primer by PPG spec. Personally, I would prefer an epoxy primer, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And then I even spoke to one of the paint reps, and he said you have to use 219 primer, which is the surfacer. So that's like a light gray. So again, that must be done. So you can't even go etch straight to your wet on wet primer. But we do, so we've got like this big sandwich of all these different primers, and what that can lead to is orange peel, gloss drop, dye back and shrink back, all those kind of things. It can lead to that. So look, that's a 10 or a 20% improvement in your quality. So that's actually not a little one. But you put that together with, this is like maybe a 2%er, a 1 or a 2%er. Have a look at the way that I have positioned the panel. So of course this is a 3-stage pearl here. So we have to do the body of the car at the same time as the doors. Now, some people may say, oh, why don't you just put the doors back onto the car? One thing that we're very conscious of in this shop is our edges. We don't want to get nasty edges. And again, 3-stage pearl, so you've got 2 coats of base coat, and then 2 coats of pearl, and then 2 coats of clear. That's a lot of edge to get on there and get that right. Now, potentially you could put the doors on the car and then paint it and then flick the edge in, but again, it's just creating more work when we are lucky enough to have a big spray booth. But anyway, I'm rambling on. The thing that I was actually going to mention is the positioning of the doors. This, again, is one that I sort of came up with myself. Again, it might seem small, but previously what we would do is just, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You just put your doors next to each other. Hold on for 1 second, I'll show you. So this is how I used to sort of have them sitting, right? It just sort of, it would make sense, have them sitting right next to each other. But what ends up happening when you do that, it's really hard to sort of get inside here and all your edges and stuff like that. So staggering the positioning of them, again, it's only like a little 2%, and look at this. The bull bar and light bar is still on this, and the front and rear, so we don't, like, you could barely even move through that. So again, you know, it gives me more room. It makes it easier for me to maneuver around the spray booth when I am painting. And again, you can get, so I'm inside, on the inside here now, and I can just paint here, flick that edge in, flick that edge in, nice and easy. And we're gonna have nice smooth edges the whole way around. Things like that. Another little sort of maybe a 5% of this one, but microfiber cloths. They make a massive difference to the cleanliness of your paint job. It actually started because I had to. I didn't have much of a choice but to use microfiber cloths. So again, thanks to the Instagram community, that I'm only just building an audience back up over there, but because they kicked me off and then they allowed me back on. Whatever, that's a different story. But yeah, if you are on Instagram, go follow my new account. But yeah, what I was going to say is that it's actually really cool. Thank you to you guys, right? I actually did want to just quickly mention that. Thanks to you guys for all the, like, it's not like this channel isn't just about me telling you what to do. It's actually not about that. It's about me sharing my work life experience. That's all I do. I just tell you what I do, right? but also you guys make me a better painter as well. It might just be that one little comment, and I'll try it. I might try it, it might not work. I might try it, and it makes all the difference. But yeah, those microfiber cloths, that's one that came from you guys. So what I was getting is, like, with the EnviroBase, I was putting the wet on wet primer down. I was just prep soling it with the standard, what are they, like, not microfiber, but they're like the panel wipes, right? And I was getting like a really strange, like, smeary thing coming, like a wax silicon type reaction, fisheye reaction, coming through the wet on wet into the base coat. But it was actually, again, the community. I'm like, man, what the hell is with this? And someone said, hey, try microfibers, because what it was is like a little bit of film, of dust or something that was left on the panel, but microfibers pulls all of those dusts out, because I guess the fibers on those cloths are so small, it will remove every single last piece of dust out of the panel. So, and because of that, it actually leaves you with a far, far cleaner panel. I've even heard people say that all they do is they microfiber and they don't even tack rag. Like, I tried that once and I'm like, nah, like, I still like to do a nice tack rag, but like, we'll have a quick close-up look at this job later, and like, it is bloody clean. One thing that I've been mentioning in other videos recently is that I feel like every one of these, it just gets better and better. It really is amazing. I'm like, man, like, you've got to reach a ceiling at some point. Like, even this one, like, there's nothing in it. Like, there's basically no dust in it. And I guess another part of it is, like, being experienced enough to know that when something does arise, knowing exactly how to do it in the moment. So I've been doing a bit of work at home because we bought this house, but it's an old, like, 70s house, so it needs a renovation. And one thing that I'm realizing is that with painting in general, and I think this is one of the difficulties of painting, and here on cars, it's just a thing that's to do with painting in general, is that you can get stuck in a job. I don't experience that at work, I guess, because I've got the experience. Like, I've done it so many times, I know exactly what to do if something does arise. But because I haven't got as much experience sort of painting at home, you can get stuck in a job, and once you're halfway through, like, there's no stopping. I guess that's my point. Like I was doing this floor, and we're going to do another separate video on me painting my floor at home. But yeah, you definitely can get stuck in a paint job if you're not careful. But again, the experience, you'll know exactly what to do if something happens, if something does arise. So another good example is like this one here. This is, you know, of not getting stuck. There was like a tiny little black speck. I tried to pick it out. Sometimes you pick it out with a bit of tape, and I'm like, oh man, what do I do? Because look, it wouldn't be acceptable. Like, it, you know, we're pretty pedantic with the quality on these jobs. It has to be right. So what I did is I got like a tiny little pin prick thing that I've got out there. It's like a little spray gun cleaning tool, but it's a pin, and I just got a tiny little white base coat, dabbed it on there, because now this happened when I was clearing, so I was too late to you know, like I say, you're stuck in that, like, you're past the point of no return, right? So it's like, what are you gonna do in that moment? And sometimes it's just, you've just got it, the show must go on. It actually happened last week. I did another one of these patrols, basically everything exactly the same, but I got like a black bit of crap landed here, tried to pick it out. It was a bit fluffy, like it was a bit of fluff, so it's too big to go and touch up. I just have to continue on. Again, show must go on, bake it out, sand the panel down, a little bit of color here, and then just re-clear the panel. You know, again, knowing exactly the right way to go about it. But yeah, actually that's another good little 1%er. So I had an issue that it was only happening on the white pearl, like the 3-layer pearls. I would always get like little bits of silicon or like little fish eyes coming up through my white pearls. So I thought about it, I'm like, it's got to be, again, I love to follow the scientific method, right? Everything happens for a reason, cause and effect. Like, there's nothing innate in that car that wants to do that. It was obviously something that I was doing, so I had to pinpoint it, right? So I thought, well, because what do I do on 3-layer pearls that I don't do on the average car? Well, what I do is I bake it. So I'm like, I'm thinking it's probably got to be something to do with that bake, right? So I started on the first, like, this is what you got to do, right? You got to push things to the extreme, and then you walk it back to the sweet spot. You walk it back to the other extreme, like the best extreme that you can go to. So the first job I did, I didn't bake it at all, right? Now on that one, I left it for like 45 minutes. Like I went way, like I say, way extreme on one end, because you got to think, you've got your 2 coats of color and then your 2 coats of pearl. So that's a lot of water-based color to sort of dry out. So yes, push it right to that extreme. 45 minutes dry time. Even went out, had my lunch, came back, left it at 30 degrees, cleared it, no fish eyes. I'm like, okay, all right, we've identified the issue. It's something in between there, in between baking it straight away and not baking it all right? So I'm like, okay, how about we leave it for 10-15 minutes, let most of the water sort of evaporate out, and then give it a lower bake. And that's what I've been doing now. So I'll give it a, say, 15 to 20 minutes, like depending on the job. Like, so this is the full body of the car. Like I want that to come out like as glassy and glossy as, you know, possible. So I'll give that the 20-minute bake, but I'll only go, say, 40. I think this one I baked it at 47, so don't go full heat. But I actually think maybe part of it was baking it too soon, that because it's still wet with the water, like that's what may have actually caused that. But again, another little, well, that's more than a 1%. That's probably another, you know, 5 or 10%er. But again, these things stack up to get the finishes that I'm getting now. You can just come in the booth and just be like, oh, I did what they said, and then that comes out and turns out like shit. But are you the guy that wants to improve your skills and, you know, the quality of the work? Well, that's how you get these kind of finishes. Even little things like the clear coat. So most people know that warm clear sort of flows out and it goes on a lot nicer and smoother. Room temperature clear coat, it's no way it's gonna look like this. I've been warming my clear coat up in the microwave, and I'll even know, like if I'm going for more like an OEM finish, I'll go, say, depending on the kind of finish I'm looking for. If it's more like a Mercedes, I might even go 20 to 25 degrees with the clear. But then if you want like the more, like the glassiest, flattest, this was 30 degrees. But even you can go another level and that's like 35 degrees. But yeah, let's have just a quick look over this job. And man, I'm really happy with that. Like there is basically no orange peel in that. So this is after a bake, right? So like that's holding that gloss too. Yeah, like, man, they come, I don't know. Some things don't need explanation. Like the work kind of speaks for itself. So like I say, bare metal respray. We did this in 4 days. We're not even going super crazy fast because there's not much out there after this one. So we're not busting a gut to do one of these in 4 days. And like I said in previous videos, we actually get them done faster now that we're not using the paint stripper. Ironically, that was the reason that we didn't want to stop using the paint stripper, because we thought it would have been faster, but turns out it's not. And as you can also see, we're not getting any warping of the panels, we're not getting ripples. At the start we were, but again, that was just technique, it was not the method. The method was sound. Again, scientific method, you know, follow the scientific method and identify the issue, iron it out, and should be all good. But man, look, I'm so freaking happy. Like if this was my car, I probably wouldn't even buff it. I wouldn't, because like that's a perfect thing. That's an unbroken finish. We will buff it because we got to get every little nib. We've got like a standard that we sort of have to work to, but yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be happy with that? Like look at the tight peel that it's tight finish that it's got. And yeah, even the EnviroBase, the PPG clip, like, that's what I say, guys. Like, there's nothing to complain about there. I can't knock the product anymore. Any of the issues that I did have at the start, I've sort of managed to overcome that, and really happy with the finishes that we're getting now. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this little extra bonus video. Until next, hey, if you want to support the show, go over, you can get yourself some new Gunman spray overalls. We've got the Colad branded Gunman spray overalls, wicked. And be sure to keep a keen eye on spraygunsdirect.co.uk. We've got a Gunman edition DV1 DeVille that's coming very soon. Absolutely can't wait for that. So yeah, by the time this video is up, it may already be out. But yeah, until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out. Yeah, boy. And I reckon I need a pay rise.